Hey there, friends and foes. Good morning, multiverse. This is Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturday mornings of our youth while navigating adulthood today. I am your host, the prophet of pop culture, John Pyka. You can call me Johnny Beyond if you dare. And this morning, we are going to be talking about the 1980s classic, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, because Saturday mornings were all about cartoons, comic books, kaiju, pro wrestling too. And we're going to do that right after this.
Saturday morning, it's fun for all. Cartoons and cereal, let's have a ball. Comic books, kaiju, pro wrestling too. The fun is waiting for you. Back of the cereal box.
All right, friends and foes. Good morning, multiverse. I am the prophet of pop culture, John Pyka. You can call me Johnny Beyond. And Avengers, comic books, Star Wars movies, and Saturday morning cartoons made me who I am today. And of course, when I was a kid, Saturday mornings meant big bowls of cereal. Just like the theme song said, sitting down to watch cartoons, read comic books, watch Godzilla movies, and pro wrestling. And that's why this morning we're going to be talking about Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. Now, when I was a kid, we did not have iPhones or tablets at the breakfast table. We were literally reading the back of the cereal box. That's where we got our news. That's where we, that was like our newspaper, our portal, our introduction to pop culture. And that's what this show is all about. And looky who we have in the virtual studio back with us this morning. I'm so excited. Your emotional support Canadian, the Peppermint Princess, the former co-host of Reels and Heels wrestling show. It is the one, the only Willow Schuyler.
Man, it's been a minute since I talked about wrestling.
Yeah, it's been at least over a year, maybe more.
About that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so perfect for you to be back. And a little birdie told me that maybe your work schedule has shifted again and that you may be joining us on a regular basis once again.
I hope so. I really do. I really do. Like, so far next week I have 2 shifts and they're in the middle of the week. So,
well, that is phenomenal. And also joining us is our third co-host, your wife's favorite redhead. She is a cosplayer extraordinaire, actress, author, soon to be, and face painter. She can be seen right now, today, this weekend, at the Watershed Public Theater's presentation of Shakespeare in the Park, Midsummer Night's Dream. Please welcome Aubrey Cavett.
yay!
Good morning, y'all.
And Aubrey is in a rustic setting this morning.
Well, technically, this is Mean Jean's house. We were supposed to be cleaning.
Oh, and Aubrey is a phenomenal cosplayer. Are you doing a Fabulous Moolah or Wendy Richter cosplay?
I am doing a Wendy today.
Love it. Love it. Well,
y'all okay this morning?
Yeah.
Doing okay.
She's even doing her Kentucky accent. I love it. I love it. I don't remember. This is just an aside. In real life, I don't remember Wendy Richter having a Southern accent. But we're going to get to that in just a minute. It is Saturday morning. We have people joining us live in the comment section. And this is how this show works, everybody. You get to be in the virtual rec room with us, like Dave Mattingly, who was first up, who says, "Good morning, box tops." They spelled wrestling wrong.
Morning, Dave.
I love that. So
Morning.
If you are watching live, you can comment in the chat. If you're listening to a replay on Apple or Spotify or iHeartRadio or wherever you are, and you're like, "Oh, I wish I could be a part of the live show," you can. every Saturday morning. We do this live at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. And we have to thank our Patreon supporters first, our Cereal Box Super Friends, Eli T. Cash, Phoenix Sisters Entertainment, Therese Collins, Dave Mattingly, Valerie Davidson, Jeremy Bell, Angelina Vacara Linky, George Soroy, Larry Amiet, Greg and Crystal Jones, Clyde Hall, Chris Vaglio, Dave Manginelli, and Dennis Pozzi. And those Patreon supporters get to join us live on air in a call-in style. So if you are part of our Patreon community, you got the link yesterday and you can jump in and join us if you want. That's an amazing perk only for our Patreon subscribers. And we also want to acknowledge our sponsor, the Tales of the Decoverse Volume 3. This is my book, Rise of the Impossibilists, and it's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere you get books. And finally, we have to ask the most important question of the morning. Because I mentioned when we were kids, we were sitting down with big bowls of cereal. We were reading the back of the cereal box. Now, Aubrey, I know you're going to do a Will It cereal in a minute, but for me and Willow and the rest of our viewing audience, we have to ask, what's in the bowl? And this morning, taking a cue from you from last week, Aubrey, because you did not like this cereal. And usually, when you don't like something, I love it. And vice versa.
It's funny.
And so I immediately ran out and got the Post cereal frosted chocolate cake cereal. Now, Aubrey, you didn't like this because it was basically mini wheats, and you don't like mini wheats, frosted mini wheats.
The picture is deceiving unless you really look at it, and then you're like, "Oh man."
Well, first of all, I love Post frosted mini wheats, love it. So right away when you said, "Oh, it's just Post frosted mini wheats," and I was like, "Oh, I gotta have it then." And then it's chocolate cake. Hello, chocolate frosted mini wheats, and I am using my Fruity Pebbles bowl, but also by Post. So I am staying in brand this morning, and I'm actually super excited about this. Now,
are we supposed to be staying in brand? Post, are you giving us a job? Is that what's happening?
I'm trying.
Dude, I mean, I put enough time and effort in. I'm in.
They are following us on Instagram, and they do respond to our posts. Get it? Post responds to our posts.
Cereal podcast. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
good dad joke there.
But since this is a Post cereal, Fruity Pebbles is a Post cereal, so I'm not crossing the brands this morning. Willow, what do you got?
Well, funny that we're talking about wrestling. I'm trying to change my lifestyle a little bit, being a little bit more healthier. So I decided to try doing a chia seed and oatmeal mixture. I know that doesn't sound fun, so I'm gonna mix it up a little bit by adding Smarties to it. It's berry flavored or strawberry flavored.
What are those? Wait.
Willow, please don't do
Forgot you guys don't get Smarties. Okay.
Did you just tease us with candy we can't have?
No, we do have Smarties, but they're not that. They're not like that. They're completely different.
Okay,
what do they look like?
Your guys' Smarties are our Rockets.
Okay.
So those of you who don't know, I am Canadian, and we have different candy up here.
Different candy, different cereal.
Smarties is like
is it a gummy?
No, it's chocolate.
Wait, it's chocolate.
Whoa.
Candy-coated chocolate.
Oh, it's M&M's.
Hold the phone.
But different. It's kind of like more of a darker chocolate than M&M's.
All right.
Oh
so
my
you-
god, I want a candy exchange for Halloween. Can we do a candy exchange?
These are strawberry flavored
You
Smarties.
tell me what you want, I'll get it across the border. We're talking about candy, okay? For the record.
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot that. Yeah, we do have different candy up here. Yes, I will definitely send you guys some Smarties, and yes, I'm gonna add this to my
Well,
cereal.
while you were adding that, I'm just going to say I've already taken a bite of the frosted chocolate cake cereal. And Aubrey, I love this.
You can have my whole box.
This is unbelievably good. I can't believe you didn't like this. It tastes just like chocolate cake with
You gotta
vanilla
eat it
frosting.
so fast. You gotta eat it so fast, or it turns into just regular shredded wheat.
No, this is so good.
We can have differences of opinions. It's
Now-
okay.
But I knew immediately when you didn't like it that this was going to be at the top of my list. Now, the back of the box is nothing to, write home about. It's just about what the cereal is, the recipe. All right, so Willow, what's the verdict on Smarties added to the oatmeal with chia seeds?
It's good. It's definitely good. It adds this was already it had a bit of a fruity flavor to it because there was a bit of berry flavoring.
This
Berry.
is my disbelief face.
How do you do berry and chocolate with that cereal? I don't know. That sounds chia seeds. Okay. Yeah, you like
It's
it though?
good. I like it. Yeah.
What are the berry flavor? What flavor of berry? Because there's lots of berry flavors. There's cereal berry. There's strawberry quick. Huh?
Yeah. It was wild berry.
Wild.
But here's the problem. Oh, by the way, there's little pieces of chocolate inside.
I know.
This is amazing. Well, Aubrey, I'm starting to question your judgment. This is delicious.
When it comes to that cereal, that's fine.
Here's the question I have for you, Willow, or the warning. You're eating chia seeds. Are you gonna grow an afro in your belly?
No. I used to add chia seeds to like noodle salads and like dry salads with just a little bit of drizzle of salad dressing, because I can't stand the taste of them most of the time.
Hold on.
So
before we do your Willet cereal, Aubrey, I got to do this real quick. Post cereal, frosted chocolate cake. This is hitting it out of the park. Post, I love you for this. Send me more. All right. Just had to do that. We're going to clip that. All right.
I don't even know how to deal with that.
It is time for Will It Cereal with Aubrey Cavett. And Aubrey, you brought something. I know the answer to this question. This will cereal 100%. She's got Muddy Buddies, Chex Mix. So go ahead, dive in. Let's see what you got.
Okay. So you know the deal. I always have to do my milk first. Always. There goes the lid somewhere. This is live, okay?
Wait a minute. Aubrey did not pour the milk into a pitcher first?
I know.
Is there like a new world order? Is there
No. I was creating my jewelry and dyeing my clothes. I had no time to put it in my little container, so I'm out of sorts just a little bit this morning. Wait, yeah, so out of sorts I forgot where the bag was. Okay. Also because I don't have a brunette wig. So I felt like I wasn't doing Wendy as much justice. But I
Well,
was not going to be the other one, the other character. I can't even remember her name. She's
the
such an awful
fabulous
character.
Moolah. The fabulous Moolah is the
Fabulous
most.
Moolah.
She is the most important women's wrestler in history.
Well, you'll have to talk more about her because they successfully made her the bad guy, and
Well, she was
like she was a good bad guy. I did not want to be her.
always.
Plus, you know, that was that's a whole conversation about her outfit. I decided to go with the one that, you know, talks like a Southerner because, you know, I live in the South. So I figured, you know, I could do it justice now.
That's good. That's good.
These smell divine.
So wait a
Oh
minute.
my-
Did you only put like 2 or 3 pieces of those Muddy Buddies in there?
No, there is at least a dozen. I don't like my seal getting mushy. I know.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
All right. So it's still not mushy.
Here we
It
go.
looks like the sugar coating is keeping it sealed.
She's going in.
That's an amazing crunch. That's an amazing crunch, first of all. So this should be a cereal anyway. And second of all, I might finish this and have another bowl immediately.
It is a cereal, actually. They did do a Muddy Buddy cereal. So I knew it was going to cereal right away.
Well, if this tastes like the actual cereal, which now I need to make a comparison of the two,
Yes, you do.
this is good.
See, here's what I can't figure out, though, Aubrey. You love the Muddy Buddies as cereal, but you did not like the frosted chocolate cake frosted mini wheats. I'm not sure what's happening here.
Crunchy. Mushy.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. It took seconds of liquid for it to turn into to smush.
You must have had like a bad batch or something, because for me, frosted mini wheats stays perfect right to the very end. Now it does get it does absorb the milk as it goes, but that makes it better.
For some people, we're all different. That smoosh at the end that some people like in the Oreo cookie when you put it in the milk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say something that is so controversial. I don't ever dunk my Oreos in milk unless I'm going to eat it instantaneous. Because if I get any pieces in the milk, I won't drink the milk. By the way, in case people didn't pay attention, this is Oreo flavored. Oreo ice cream, Oreo, like I love Oreos. So I tried it. You know how I will let it get soggy, though, weird as it can be, in my coffee. I didn't have creamer one day. So I was like, I'm going to have some Oreos with my coffee. And guess what? The Oreo got in there and I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to dump out my coffee. Well, let me just, ooh. So, you know, maybe another try.
Wow. All right. So here we go. We got a bunch of audience comments. This is Aubrey's favorite part of the show. And by the way, Willow, we are going to do a spin-off show just for Aubrey called Random Acts of Aubrey, where all she does is interact with audience members. No topic, just they drive the conversation.
I thought Johnny was going to keep this a secret. Well, we did it in the works. Nope. It's out. Surprise.
Yep. So I may need to lean on you, Aubrey, or Willow, to train Aubrey on StreamYard.
I'll do my best.
Anyway, we've got Zentron. Good afternoon, fellow cereal boxes. He is coming at us live from his computer desk, working away as usual, this time redrawing the VHS cover for Laser Tag Academy cartoon. And Zentron sent me an article about Laser Tag Academy last week because I had never heard of it. It's from 1985. And I can't believe that I had never heard of it. But yeah, so Dave Mattingly says Zentron, that sounds cool. Can you send Johnny the artwork in progress for him to show on screen? That would be awesome. And you can do that, David, right through Facebook. And Dave Mattingly says, Willow, welcome back.
Isn't it so great to see her?
Yes. I miss these shows.
Yes, and we have missed you greatly. Zentron says, can do, only about 40% of the way through, though. Hey, but Zentron, that would be really cool to see some, progression, work in progress. Look who is joining us in the virtual rec room this morning. It is Caterade Comedy, Cade Hawkins. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Good morning, Cade.
Cade says, candy trafficking sounds like a PSA in the making. Now, here's the thing. So Aubrey is doing her Southern Kentucky accent in honor of Wendy Richter.
Hi there, Cade.
But he's talking about candy trafficking and smuggling things across borders. One time I got pulled over crossing the border from Ohio to Kentucky, and they accused me of smuggling books into the state. But
What?
I used the Jedi mind trick and convinced them no. I was like, look, it's okay because they're coloring books. Anyway, Willow's like, I don't understand this thing about Kentucky. They don't read books in Kentucky, Willow. They're one of the highest states for illiteracy after Mississippi.
This cereal is good.
David Walsh, Zentron says Facebook and YouTube streams are a little out of sync. Yeah, they always are. There's a little delay between them. But we love you being on Facebook because we are part of the Facebook Creator Bonus Program. And every time you watch, every time you give us a thumbs up, a smiley face, or post a comment through Facebook, we get a couple of pennies. And it's expensive to stream. So that little bit helps pay for the program, and I appreciate it. Caterade says, my bro Jay and I tried Oreos and Coke Zero a bit ago. Oddly enough, delicious. Okay, so a few, I guess maybe almost 2 years ago, last year, we had a guest from Scotland who was visiting the U.S. Willow, were you a part of this show where he tried Fruit Loops in root beer and loved it?
I seem to recall that, yes.
Yeah. Aubrey is shaking her head.
No.
Fruit Loops and root beer? I keep wanting to try it, but I forget about the root beer. Yeah.
Fruit Loops and root beer?
All right. You know what? That's next week. I'm going to try Fruit Loops and root beer. And you know what? You are too, Aubrey.
The only root beer that I like is the ABQ root beer.
And he said, Caterade says, we did that because there's going to be a Coke Zero Oreo flavor. What? And we wanted to try it before it came out to the market. I had not heard of that.
I might actually like that. I wonder if they'll bring that up to Canada.
Dave Mattingly says, Aubrey, I'm going to have to dump out my coffee. I don't understand that sentence at all.
Oh, that's why I was glad the Oreo tasted good in it. Because, Dave, that would have been such a waste.
Caterade says, I was like, oh no, reading? But then it was coloring and I calmed down.
And this is live.
We're going to kill Aubrey by the end of the show.
We've broken Aubrey.
Okay. With the jokes this morning.
Willow, I've discovered something about Aubrey. Is that she is easily amused.
You just discovered this.
Which
is why when I have something to say about something and I don't like it, it's usually like, huh?
Yeah. So David Walsh is saying it's not letting me post pics to the Facebook stream post. No, it won't. Send them to me via Messenger. And yeah, so send them to me in Messenger, and I'll load them up and post them up. Oh, hey, look here. We've got Bridget Ann Mitchell. Oh, I can't wait to see Aubrey Cavett eat Fruit Loops and root beer.
That is
And-
a friend of mine, and
Yeah, and Willow, if you're able to join us next week, same thing. Fruit Loops and root beer.
I'll try.
Wait a second. You warned her. Now she could be like,
But-
Johnny, no,
I warned you
I'm
too.
not feeling so good.
It might have to be a zero sugar one.
That's okay.
Because me and
That's
my
okay.
husband are trying very hard to eat healthy now.
Well, I mean,
But how do you do a zero
it's just
sugar
one
Fruit
it's just one little bit, just try it. Just take one bite. That's all it takes. It won't hurt you.
Maybe I'll buy one of those little personal cup.
Yeah,
cereal.
that's exactly what I have. I have a box of those that I use in my magic act, so that's what I'll use. But so Aubrey, to your point about the frosted chocolate cake, it has gotten soggy. It's shredded up, but it's got these little pieces of chocolate in it, so even when it's mushy, it's crispy. This is the best of both worlds. Everyone,
You know what?
go out and get frosted chocolate cake cereal right now.
It is great for fall. Frosted chocolate cakes cereal from Post is great for fall and winter. You know why? Because if you like oatmeal, it will turn into it eventually.
Dad is great. Make us the chocolate cake. Anyway, Zentron. Oh, and Bridget Ann Mitchell says, "Oh, great. Now Willow won't be here next week."
Right. Bridget and I thought the same thing. We're like, you warned her.
And Kate Hawkins says, "Jumping over to the book of face, despite my fear of literacy."
Face.
And
Oh,
Dave
God.
Mattingly needs to be on the marketing team at Nabisco because he says Coke Zero Oreo. Coke Zero Oreo. That's hard to say. That's like Aurora, Ohio.
Sounds like an anime. Zororio. There you go. Somebody make an anime called Zororio.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up. Since we've got the cereal, we've got the boxes. Of course, Willow doesn't have a box this morning,
I don't have a box this morning.
but you do have a bag. And Willow does have a mug. So Saturday mornings, we ate the cereal, and then we immediately reached into the box. We rooted around in there to pull out the prize. And so this is prizes from the cereal box, also known as new loot. And you guys, I love it. I absolutely love it when I can show off something that actually came from a cereal box. And 1990.
Ooh.
This was what was packaged in General Mills cereal boxes. The Adventures in the Breakfast Zone comic book and activity book.
So cool.
Yes. So when I tell people that sometimes they like, and you know, I just tore it. Somebody just had to come apart. So there's an ad for the Days of Thunder cars.
Fox.
There's the launch zone, or the laugh zone rather, jokes. How did Fruity Yummy Mummy miss the party? Because he was all wrapped up in his work. Here's an ad, Aubrey, for the world's smallest Matchbox
Oh
car.
my God, I love that ad so much. I used to stare at that one.
Yeah,
that was in others, and I have to say that was one of my favorite.
Here's a comic strip about the General Mills bakers.
Oh, that was actually not bad. I liked looking at the artwork.
Yeah, and let's see. Oh, here's a maze with the monster cereal mascots and Cuckoo the what is his name? Sonny the cuckoo. Is that his name?
Sunny, yeah.
Yeah, Sonny the cuckoo bird. Doing an activity, and this is phenomenal. There were 3 of these made. Oh, look at this, Aubrey. Speaking of ads, there's an ad for the Real Model collection.
Ooh, oh no, somebody might want that. You might need to be careful with that. A collector might want that.
Yeah, those are Matchbox, not Barbies.
Yeah, one of a kind. Those, right? They didn't do that, but I've never heard of that being done more than once. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's
for
people...
Sticker Mania.
Lisa Frank. Oh my God, I sent away for one of those. I actually sent away for a Lisa Frank.
Oh,
really?
Yes. Oh my God, your favorite movie?
Yes, and a little what do you call that? Connect the dots. Connect the dot. First time with my new tongue. Connect the dots. Picture, but Aubrey, this is where you're going to lose your mind. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
If I can find it. This is phenomenal. And I found this, by the way, at a flea market. And as a kid, if this came out in 1990, there were 3 of these. But if I were 10 years old in 1990, if this had come out in 1980, and I saw this ad for the World of Dinosaurs book series, you mail away and you get a book every month. Oh my God. This would be heaven for me. I was obsessed with dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh, those are so cute.
Yeah. So there are 3 of these that were published. I got this one at a flea market and it had a price tag on it for $2, and I've tried to peel it off and it started to peel the cover off, so I left it alone. But if anyone out there watching or listening has access to or finds the other issues of Adventures in the Breakfast Zone, I want them. I've gone on a hunt. They're hard to find. They are out there, but they're not easy to find, especially number 2 seems to have like vanished from the face of the earth. But if anyone out there has them or comes across them, please share them with me and let me know.
I can't remember seeing them anywhere, to be honest with you.
I never knew this existed because it came out in 1990. I was a freshman in college. And so I would not have been aware of this. But Aubrey, what do you got from your cereal box prizes this morning?
So, in honor of being live, one of the reasons why I was stalling to react, and this is one of the reasons I like to mention us being live so many times, because there are other podcasts that don't, is I just did something to this comic that made me very sad. I'm usually very, very careful with the comics. I was taught from a young age to very much be careful with them.
See, I was exactly the opposite. Okay, so this is why while you're doing that and getting that ready, this is why I don't have like authentic stuff from the era. A lot of shows, a lot of Facebook groups, they are collectors. They have the authentic stuff from the cereal box. I don't have any of that stuff left because I actually played with my toys. I read my comics. I played with my toys. I watched the VHSs until they broke. And I really, because I follow a very simple philosophy. It's the philosophy from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam that you should eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you will be food for worms.
That's very true.
So
that's very true.
Anyway, so you're very careful. Show us what you got.
I was not careful. That's what I was saying. I was not careful. But So I'm very sad because I did slightly damage this, which is making my heart hurt right now. So this is a DC featuring, I know we don't do politics, so I don't do this very often, but since it had a pose that reminded me of getting body slammed, and it had a sumo wrestler on the front of it, I thought it would be appropriate for this episode. And then a little bit of the outside got damaged, so I'm sad. But this is 20 cents Star Spangled War.
So this is it's the Unknown Soldier. And this was an incredibly popular series in the 60s. This issue that you have would have been from the early 70s.
Yes.
What is the issue number on the front of it?
173.
Yeah. That was an incredibly popular series. And
here we go.
That's an amazing find. Where did you find it?
I have too many times where I just stop at stores. So that's the other reason why I'm kind of heartbroken, because it just the damage to it just happened. But as you can see, I adore these ads. You know I do. And they have a comic strip they made for the ad, just for advertisement. Like they hired.
Listen, the Charles Atlas ads were like peak.
You'll shoot your eye out.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
Come on, Daisy, like an old one. That one I should frame.
Actually, I have that BB gun in my closet. I should pull that out. Again, more of the bodybuilding. Listen,
but look at this. What's next to it? Those were the thing. This is Wish before Wish was a thing.
Well,
okay?
well, wait.
You guys.
So that, Aubrey, is how I got into magic. I've told this story before.
Mm-hmm.
When you cut out that card and you sent it in, they sent you back cases of greeting cards that you had to sell.
But you have to. The problem with it, Johnny, is look, guys, look. There's the ad.
Yeah,
look,
it's the letters
you gotta
page.
cut out. You gotta cut that out.
Yeah,
so you gotta buy 2 comics to have that page still.
Yeah,
but otherwise, that page is gone.
But you know what, Aubrey? Back in those days, we didn't care. Listen, comic books were not like a speculative collector's item that people thought they were going to make money from. And by the way, if you're one of those people who think that you're going to buy...
No, I can buy comics because I like them.
Yeah. Well, I tell people...
Do you see that?
Sea monkeys, yeah, the brine shrimp.
Oh, I sent that away. That was also something I did. I got
$1.99. Listen, you can still buy those. You can get the sea monkey, the whole sea monkey environment at like Hobby Lobby.
How many people? How many in the audience? How many of you? Come on, admit it. How many of you got the sea monkeys? How many of you like? I want it. How many?
And they all died.
Oh, they did. Oh my God! But you could see them. They're like, oh, they really are little things. I thought it was gonna be like a bag of dust. You know, I was the kid who didn't believe.
Well,
once you tell me Santa's not real, I'm done.
I'm just trying to figure out what sea monkeys actually were.
So they were brine shrimp, but the what you got was a package of the dehydrated brine shrimp eggs. And when you added them to water, they would rehydrate and hatch. Yeah. And you can still get them.
Okay, Naughty, one more. Look at this, guys.
Yeah.
We're sending away for this game.
So these were little plastic army soldiers, or in this case, knights.
It's so cool.
And they were about this high. You can't see me, but they were about this high. Little army men, little knights.
Werewolf mask.
And
oh my God.
I had those army soldiers buried all over the yard. So this ad, Aubrey, is for the Johnson Smith catalog.
Okay.
things you never knew existed but couldn't possibly live without. And they published these teaser ads in comic books, but you sent away, and you could order directly from this, but if you sent away, they would send you a big, thick catalog full of that stuff. And that's how I got my first set of Chinese linking rings.
Raquel Welch pillow.
Uh-huh.
There's the pillow. There's
Yeah.
the lady pillow.
Raquel Welch. Hello.
And it's a mask.
12-year-old
werewolf
me.
mask. You could send away for who got the werewolf mask? Please.
I did.
Please. You got the
Listen,
werewolf mask for real?
Was it
you plastic or was it rubber?
It was rubber. And you guys talk about Wish and Temu. That really, Johnson Smith catalog was Wish and Temu for kids. Well, and some adults. There was some paraphernalia and stuff that you could get from Johnson Smith catalog that you had to be 18 plus to order. You know what I'm talking about.
Head wig, secret book safe, spy scope, secret spy scope, and it shows a lady's body what you're looking at.
Oh yeah. Listen, 12-year-old Johnny was hooked.
Oh,
I spent so much money from the Johnson Smith catalog because it was like Wish. It was cheap. $1.99, $2, 50 cents. Now you had to wait, just like Wish and Timo, you had to wait 4 to 6 weeks before you ever got it. And by the time it came, you forgot that you had even ordered it. So it was like Christmas.
$1.99 for a 7-foot tall monster ghost.
Yeah.
Can we talk? Can we talk? Because somebody have this. Can we see pictures of this? I want to know. This is so cool. I know Johnny teases me, but this is part of history, man. This is just part of I don't know. Plus,
and I lived that history.
A little problematic.
I was there. So I think this is going to be part of Random Acts of Aubrey.
Yes.
She'll be showing off classic ads to her viewers and getting comments from them. I have a feeling this is going to be a thing.
Okay.
Willow, do you have any prizes from the cereal box this morning?
I do. So you need a big box for this.
Ooh.
But let's get rid of my virtual background for right now. I went to a car show and I won a picture.
And you got some framed art.
Oh, I like this.
Very cool. I love it.
So those of you who follow me know that me and my husband drive around in a 66 Dodge Coronet during the summertime. It is a gold station wagon. And we do car shows.
I love that. I love going to car shows. I know nothing about cars, but I love looking at classic cars, the curves and the shapes and the colors and the power behind the engines. And I can't figure out for the life of me, Willow, why did we allow society to get away from that? What if you had your choice between a 57 Ford Fairlane and a 2020 Nissan Acura? Why would you ever choose the Acura over the Ford Fairlane? What is going on? There was a reason we used to call cars she.
Apparently, cars are expensive now. Like, what the hell happened to? Like, they're cheaply made and they're expensive.
I know. I just bought a used car, 2018 used Nissan Rogue, for $19,000, and that was the cheapest car I could find. With the features that we wanted, with the mileage that we wanted. Cars are $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. That's insanity. Insanity. Anyway, we're not here to talk about cars or commiserate. Bridget Ann Mitchell says, my husband likes to eat chocolate cake with milk over it, so he would probably love that cereal. Ooh, so chocolate cake with milk over it. I do. Listen, little secret. I don't put the milk over it, but I will dip the chocolate cake in milk. I love that. It's like Tres Leches cake. Aubrey, have you ever had Tres Leches cake?
So if you
You
don't
should.
remember, I don't like mushy things.
Well-
So when I'm older, I will have to eat the mushy things. I'm sure. But
Give me some of that
I-
oatmeal.
well, you know what? It's not even age at all. Like even as a kid, textures. I just didn't like oatmeal. I was the one who would sit at the table until the parents gave up and then still not eat the oatmeal.
See, look, I get the texture thing. That's why I don't like berries. That's why I don't like most anything with a fruit with a skin on it. I'm not eating it.
Nothing with a skin on it. We're all safe.
and that
Johnny will
includes-
not eat us
And that
until he
includes
skins us. Never mind.
well, that includes pudding and Jello. If pudding or Jello has a skin on the top, you know what I'm talking about. I'm done. I'm out.
There's this weird film where you go to put your fork and it goes no.
Yeah.
And Johnny goes no.
Do you remember that episode of Seinfeld where George wanted to market pudding skins like Kraft single cheese in a wrapper? I'm like, no, I'm out. If it's got a skin, I'm gone.
No.
David Walsh says, I also sent you the original VHS cover so that you can see how things are going.
Let's see this. Can we
So
show this
I
now?
tried to load it. I don't know where you sent it, David. I'm going to have to go find it. I couldn't see it this morning. Dave Mattingly says, nice Cosby reference. Johnny. Do you know what my Cosby reference was? When I was singing, Dad is great. Give us the chocolate cake. That's from Bill Cosby himself.
I'm just
Classic
ignoring
comedy
that.
album. So this is an important comment I'm going to read from Nathaniel Hill. I actually invited him to join us this morning, but he can't be on. But he says, I'm not sure if anyone else from New South Pro Wrestling will be able to join with you guys this morning. But as the marketing and sales director, I want to say that we are very excited to have Back of the Cereal Box coming to do a live remote at our live event, Comic-Con High, October 4th and 5th at the VBC in Huntsville. Matt Riddle Bro, you know him, Willow, will be making his New South Pro Wrestling debut. Also, I did want to say that we at New South are keeping the rock and wrestling connection going with artists like Luna Coy Jordan, Condry, and Young Baz. And that's all he could put. So yeah, what he's talking about is our partnership with New South Pro Wrestling.
Ooh.
And we are doing some live remotes at their themed events. October is an anime theme at Comic-Con. And in November, it's a Star Wars theme. And super excited about that. And Nathaniel, I'm going to have to talk to you about maybe bringing my NWA Saw Wrestling manager character out of retirement and doing some promotions with New South Wrestling. Big Daddy Cool Johnny Della Rocca may need to make a return and reform the Chicago Pain Syndicate to teach all you hillbillies out there what real wrestling is all about. Can you dig that? I knew that you could.
I'm sorry. I feel like Canada can do better.
Well,
Canada has done better with wrestling.
I feel like those hillbillies. I hope that don't refer to me, sir.
So Kate Hawkins did send me a link to the Breakfast Zone magazine on eBay. So I appreciate that. And then Kate said, I thought you said Johnson Sniff catalog at first. And I was like, a scratch and sniff catalog? Innovative. No, that was the Adam and Eve catalog. Oh! I just said that live on air.
No, Johnny, no.
And those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you're Googling it right now. And you're going to be like,
Don't. Don't Google. Don't trust Johnny and his telling you to Google
No, you will never be able to get that out of your algorithm. It's like, when you put food on the hips, on the lips, on the hips, it's the same thing. You put it on your algorithm, it'll be there forever.
There is no white out
Everybody
in the
look it up.
eyes.
Anyway, okay, I found the artwork that that Zentron is working on. I'm going to save this and upload it. Hold on, laser tag. And I've got the original VHS cover and then his redraw. So laser tag redraw. And this is all happening live, folks. This is live right now. There's nothing edited. Everyone's seeing behind the curtain right now. So
Okay.
laser tag, here we go. Here's
Makes us one of a kind, right?
What's that?
Said it makes us one of a kind.
That's right. That's right. Nobody else does what we do, for the good or bad. This is the
We're
original
crazy.
VHS cover that Zentron is referencing. I never saw the show, so we might have to do some research on this.
I've never seen it either, but I like the dog.
Why
Why does he remind me of the one from? Oh my gosh!
That's Chomps. And then this is what he's redoing. So he's just cleaning up, doing a redraw,
Okay.
and yeah. So you can see the differences. It's going to be a lot
The
cleaner.
dog has a Mr. Muggs look to it, and I'm sorry if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Again, it's a Canadian reference.
No clue. No clue. And David Walsh, Googling. Oh my. There you go. And Kate Hawkins says, I didn't think the show was edited, but as you said, this is live and not edited enough for me to doubt your show's liveness.
I know. I
Oh.
think we've mentioned that like 5 times this episode.
So it's time to get
In
to our
case you
main
didn't know,
topic.
guys, we are live.
Yes. It's time to get to our main topic, brought to you by New South Pro Wrestling. This is Saturday morning 102. Saturday morning 102. What does that mean? That means that these are series from Saturday morning that are kind of essential, but kind of obscure. And this one, I know, Aubrey, you were completely taken aback by. Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
I had no idea, darling.
13 episodes. Tale of the tape. Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling is an American animated television series that originally aired on CBS Saturday mornings from September 14th, 1985 to October 18th, 1986, with reruns airing until June 27th, 1987. It was an animated show produced by DIC Animation, and it featured the animated adventures of popular WWF stars at the time, including the title character, obviously, Hulk Hogan, and his group of face wrestlers, the Heroes, fighting against a group of rogue heel wrestlers, the Villains, led by Rowdy Roddy Piper. And the show followed cartoon archetypes. First day with my new tone. It is, I'm struggling this morning, y'all. The show followed cartoon archetypes concerning good characters triumphing over evildoers in wacky situations typical of children's cartoons in the 1980s. I make a joke about them not being able to read in Kentucky, and this is what I get. I can't read the tale of the tape. Karma comes back fast. Anyway, Aubrey, you love the ads in comic books. This was the ad in comic books for the debut of Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. And
That's so cool.
The Wuzzles.
yeah, this was actually drawn by a really famous artist. I want to say this might have been drawn by Jim Steranko. Somebody out there tell me who did the artwork on this. I can't
Muppet
remember.
Babies and Monsters?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so looking at this ad, it has always been Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did our brains go?
I don't know.
Too many people said it wrong, and we just adopted the other one. But you don't even say the other one because it just happens when you start saying it once.
By the way,
Berenstain Bears.
Yeah. By the way,
Berenstain.
Muppet Babies and Monsters lasted like all of 5 episodes. It was a massive bomb. But let's talk about Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. So Hulk Hogan was voiced by Brad Garrett. Does anyone know Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yes.
He played the older brother.
So great of an actor. And I could not figure out who that voice was. I have to admit, I had to look it up. It did not, and not even an inkling. You know, I knew the last one when we had the Avengers, but no idea. I was racking my brain like, what? Was it a wrestler? He wasn't even a wrestler. He was just an actor at the time. Well,
I mean, none of the actual wrestlers voiced their own characters on the show because they weren't voice actors. They were, professional athletes who played characters, but they weren't necessarily actors. And it's a whole different skill set. So Brad Garrett played Hulk Hogan, brother. And here in this frame, we've got Mean Gene Okerlund, the announcer, who was always dressed in his announcer uniform with a microphone ready. Hogan always wore his wrestling gear with the title belt, as did Roddy Piper. From left to right, we got Roddy Piper, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, Mean Gene Okerlund, Hulk Hogan in the center. Then beside him is Captain Lou Albano. Behind him is Andre the Giant. Then we've got Tito Santana and Hillbilly Jim on the end. And that wasn't all of the characters. We also had the Junkyard Dog. Here's another group shot with Bobby the Brain Heenan, Big John Studd. We've got Jimmy Superfly Snuka in there, and the fabulous Moolah to the left. Again, here's the villain lineup: Iron Sheik, Roddy Piper, Mr. Fuji, Nikolai Volkov, Fabulous Moolah, and Big John Studd. And you know what? So this show, Aubrey and Willow, it tried to follow these characters in everyday real world situations, but trying to carry over the heel versus face storylines from the actual in-ring action. And can I just say, I was not a fan of this show when I was a kid. And watching it again as an adult, I remembered why. I'm just going to put it out there. This show was absolutely abysmal. This show was horrible. I couldn't get, I tried. I tried to watch it again. I tried.
Now, aside from its horribly racist, the horrible racism that is all over the place in this show.
What are you talking about?
That's kind of built into the characters of the WW. It really is.
Yeah.
It's kind of built into a good bit of them.
But look, I know what you're talking about. Tito Santana was Hispanic. He was Puerto Rican, but he was in real life. And that was the character that Tito Santana played in live action wrestling. Junkyard Dog was a Georgia Southern junkyarder. Junk dealer. That was his character. So is it racist when the people who are playing the character who are that race, that ethnicity, make that character themselves?
See, I don't know how that was supposed. Did they actually make up these characters, or
Mhm.
were they paid to
Both.
portray these characters
Both.
for the sake of the writers and the creative
Well,
entities of WWE
so that is a great question. And in
or
the early
WWF
80s,
at the time?
WWF brought in Vince McMahon, brought in the biggest talents, the biggest names from other promotions. So the Junkyard Dog was actually already wrestling as this character in Georgia Championship Wrestling before he came to the WWF. So he brought this character with him. And it wouldn't be until the early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, that they actually started creating characters specifically for on air, with the Undertaker and the Repo Man and Doink the Clown and those kind of Duke the Dumpster Drosy, Big Boss Man. Those were created characters, but at this time in wrestling history, these were all existing characters from other promotions who were brought into the WWF. So that's my question. When these are characters that they created themselves, is it racist?
I mean, you're
A lot of yeah.
It-
I mean, Willow, this is
see. Okay, so yeah, I like because I'm white, I can't say boo whether or not I don't agree with it, but at the same time, if someone were to tell me who watch wrestling and who is of these
Well, we've got the answer
backgrounds.
right here. Dwayne L. Hearn. He is a fantastic African-American author,
Hi.
great friend, and
How
he
you
says the
doing?
short answer is no.
Okay.
There we go. So no, if they've created it themselves, whoever it is, if it's an extreme version. So in other words, I could make an extremely Polish character because
Yes.
I am mostly Polish
Mhm.
and make jokes like my great grandfather used to make about how many Polacks it takes to screw in a light bulb. Yes, I said that live. Yes, it was a joke. My great grandfather, who was 100% Polish, by the way, descendant, no, just straight up, his parents, both of them, 100% Polish. He could make those jokes. I'd be like, Shaji. And he'd be like, what? I can make them. So, there we go. We got two men, one from the 30s and a gentleman now saying it's okay.
I do make a lot of jokes about being I'm Ukrainian and German, and I make jokes about being extremely cheap. What we have in our cupboards is we save containers from the margarine containers and stuff like that. We actually call them Ukrainian Tupperware. So I mean, okay, I can see, yeah, but if anybody else were to make that joke that wasn't Ukrainian or German or whatever, I can see that, how people can take it the wrong way. But
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, and you know
But
what?
do
That
you
didn't
have
even occur to me.
Daily basis or a weekly basis on a cartoon though?
So that's how their characters were, though, right? Johnny,
Yeah.
from the very beginning in wrestling.
Yeah.
The heels were meant to be hated.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could make your heel hated. The first time, Johnny, I'm going to this is the episode for me to talk about my history with wrestling because most people know that I'm not a huge fan, but I am a fan, actually. I remember the old Roddy Piper. I remember the Hulk Hogan with the Spangles. I remember seeing Randy Macho Man Savage in all of his shiny glory. I remember Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Right?
The cream of the crop always rises.
The first time I saw The Undertaker he was not The Undertaker. He was a different kind of wrestler. He didn't enter like that. He didn't have
He was
smoke.
Mark Mean.
He wasn't from hell, So yes, I know about older wrestling, and I have to say, Andre the Giant, was like my breaking point. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sentimental. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a big softie. Okay, and when Andre died, I took it
Mhm.
hard. I took it really hard, and I didn't watch wrestling for a while. I know that sounds weird, but some people need a break from things when bad things happen, and Andre dying kind of affected a lot of people. And then I finally get into it again, and some other drama happened that I won't mention about a wrestler who had some anger issues and may or may not have killed himself and his family. And so there's been a, and then we've got all of the crazy ones in between, the specials where you see wrestlers behind the scenes. I can't remember the name of the man with the mask. All of a sudden, for some reason, my brain is hating me. But
Well, which one?
the one where you can only see part of his face.
Which one?
Wild hair,
Kane.
white button up. Nope. Backwards more. He got threatened for a while.
Psychosis.
For too much violence and doing the chairs.
That sounds like Juventud Guerrera.
No. It was like a white button up shirt with a black tie, and he had like crazy hair coming out.
Oh, Mankind.
Mankind. I can remember Man, but I'm like, it's not just Man, brain. There's something.
See, when you say half mask, that could be anyone.
Yeah.
Torn up mask that was, you could only see parts of his face like that. I was hardcore.
That guy had like 3 or 4 different characters going on at the same time too. So it's
Yep.
That's
Cactus Jack, Mick Foley,
Right?
Dude
Oh, Mick
Love,
Foley,
Mankind.
yes. So there was so many good characters, and I have to say, my favorite part was the fact is that you had to learn at that age when you were younger, really young. These were not their characters. Like this was not. So when people are like getting mad at actors for playing bad and negative characters, I'm like, it's acting. It's acting. Hi. It's acting. So I didn't know that at first. When I was a little kid, I did not know that. I was mad at the bad guy. I was mad at the big guy with the snake that was scaring people. I was mad at those heels. They're spitting at the people in the audience. I was so mad at them. They did a great job. These heels in this cartoon, they made you hate these heels. The actress that plays the female bad guy, Jodie Carlisle. I'm hoping I'm not murdering her name.
Fabulous Moolah.
Yes,
And
she played Fabulous Moolah and Wendy. And she's got a huge history of doing a lot of other things, but she played a good bad guy. I did not like that woman.
And listen, you should not have liked the Fabulous Moolah. She was the most important women's wrestler in all of wrestling history. She was the women's world champion for 27 years.
Wow.
And during that entire time, she was a villain. And she was a heel, and she loved that the audiences hated her with a passion because it meant that she was playing the character the right way. It's called getting heat. And right now,
ooh, okay, we're learning terminology now.
Yeah.
I did not know that one. Okay, the heels getting heat. I like this.
And the more heat they get, it's more a reflection of how over they are with the audience. So you get over either as a heel with people hating you, or you get over as a face by the cheers and the crowd pops and whatnot. And the wrestlers who get neither, like Kofi Kingston, listen, Kofi Kingston is maybe one of the most talented guys in the ring, but for whatever reason, he just cannot get over. Audiences just don't care. They just don't care. And the character with the most heel heat today is Dominic Mysterio.
Really?
He is the most hated character on TV.
Wait, Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio's son.
That's what I thought.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I was a fan of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, it's his son.
What?
He's a member of Judgment Day, and he is the most over heel, maybe in all of wrestling history. he is going to go down as one of the best with Jake the Snake Roberts, Roddy Piper.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Now I will say, Willow, I do remember being worried. Like you were talking about the politics a little bit of them, you know, and just hinting on that a little bit. I actually was very aware of the social climate when I was a kid. And I have to admit, yes, that some of these characters, the Sheik, they had me intimidated by it's not gonna sound great, but it had me intimidated by this big guy with his accent and his presence. And it made me question, you know, were these people dangerous? But to learn about the heels and to learn what happened and to get to know people as I got older, you know, it was immediately obvious that it wasn't. But he did such a good job. That the Sheik was one of the scariest characters when I was little, you know?
Okay.
And I was like, this guy is cruel and mean. He was really good. So to have Rey Mysterio's son be one of the best and be up there with those guys, like now he's making me want to watch wrestling.
Well, you should. So Dwayne L. Hearn is obviously a wrestling fan because he says, but kayfabe, which is a term used to describe them playing the characters outside of the ring in real life, like in public personas. And in the 80s, it was very real at the time. And you were supposed to think it's real. And the Iron Sheik was Iranian. He was real deal Iranian. And he really did want you to think that he was an Iranian terrorist. That was part of the character out of the ring. Now, Dwayne says, not over. Kofi and the New Day were beyond over. Yes, as the New Day. But Kofi as a singles wrestler, nothing. Flat.
You know, and it's funny because I actually one of my coworkers is Iranian, and he is like one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Yeah, and you know, talking about, you know, these character stereotypes. Dwayne also mentions that Kofi wasn't Jamaican, but he was playing a Jamaican character, and he carried that character with him over to the WWF. Dave Mattingly asks, is Johnny Beyond racist? An emotional support Canadian racist? Is your wife's favorite redhead racist? He's kind of making fun of, you know, titles and you know, labels. I did not know this. I'm learning something from Tony I. Chief Jay Strongbow was really Italian? What? I never knew that.
Oh.
So his was an homage. An homage.
No, listen.
No?
Chief Jay Strongbow played an American Indian chief.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought my entire lifetime that he was a real, like, Cherokee Native American. I didn't know he was Italian.
So he did a good job.
Yeah, he's a classic. I thought, Tony, that Chief Jay Strongbow was related to the Anoa family, the Rock and Roman Reigns. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I'm learning something new.
They made a lot of fallacies when it came to WWE, like making us believe that Kane and Undertaker were brothers, but in real life, that wasn't true.
Yeah, right? They weren't related at all. But here's the thing. Pro wrestling is all about the storytelling. It's all about the spectacle. It's all about the pageantry. And when they can make us believe that it is real and that those relationships are real, that's when it's at its absolute peak. And like right now, what's going on in the WWE with Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan having an on-screen relationship and a love triangle with him and Rhea Ripley, none of it's real. Mm-hmm. But it's so believable.
Johnny, so as a not a huge fan, but a fan, to appeal to the people who are watching that have not seen wrestling and liked it. My history teacher, not a man I thought would ever stick up for wrestling, actually said these words to me, not word for word, because it's been forever since I've been in middle school. But what he told me is, if you watched modern wrestling, which in that time would be early 90s, it was extremely, he will use the word extremely, this is why I remember it, akin to the fights of the Romans and the gladiators, because the better show they put on, where they were a villain, where they were a heel, when they got that heat, or when they were, the hero and they were rescuing the people, the audience, the people, from this villain, this tyrant, character, that was the passion. And people would come back for that. It was a soap opera with violence.
It was a soap opera for men.
And some ladies,
and it was our first. I loved wrestling as a kid, and I actually broke into tears when I heard a lot of my favorite wrestlers have sadly passed away now, but I broke into tears when Chyna died.
Joni Lauer. Do you know who Chyna was, Aubrey?
I know that she was one of the best wrestlers when I was younger, and that name never went away. I saw her a few times, but I don't know who she was outside of her persona.
Yeah, so Chyna was the 8th wonder of the world. She was she was the first woman, not the only woman, but the first woman to win a male title belt. She was the Intercontinental Champion, which is a men's title in the WWE, on 2 occasions. Now, there's only been 2 other women to hold a men's title in the entire history of wrestling. The other one was Medusa, who held the WCW Cruiserweight title, and Tessa Blanchard, who is the only woman ever to hold the men's World Heavyweight Championship. She is the only woman to ever be the world champion, Tessa Blanchard. But anyway, let's get back to this actual series. So you guys watched it. I thought this was horrible. I couldn't take it. But it's all born of the rise of pro wrestling in the early 80s. And the whole thing started with this live action sequence with Hulk Hogan, and interspersed with the animated sequences. And Willow, I remember as a kid seeing that scene where Hogan gets rushed by all of the kids on the street, and I never realized that it was from this. I just remember seeing it growing up, and watching this again. I was like, oh, that's where this came from. But this series was born out of the popularity of wrestling due to the rock and wrestling connection. Aubrey, in the early 80s,
is that
Cyndi Lauper?
Oh,
Cyndi Lauper was the manager for Wendy Richter.
Oh my God, I did not know that. And it's so cool.
So this was from the Brawl to Settle All. And this is where Wendy Richter defeated the Fabulous Moolah to become the women's world champion. And it was the start of a whole new era. And Cyndi Lauper would stay with the WWF. And this is at the height of her pop music career. And WrestleMania 1, Cyndi Lauper managed Wendy Richter. We had, why can I remember his name? In the mink coat. That's a piano player. I'm having a brain cramp. And of course, Muhammad Ali was the special. He wasn't the referee, but he was the bell. He rang the bell for Hogan, Mr. T, Roddy Piper, and Paul Orndorff at WrestleMania 1. And,
I love this so much.
And that's really where, through the rock and wrestling connection, that pro wrestling came into the mainstream in a major cultural way. Everyone was talking about Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Oh, that's a bad picture. There he is, the Hulkster. And by the way, Cyndi Lauper, this is her today at 70 years old. Is she not just amazing?
She always had a baby face and always had this tiny little voice, and she is still gorgeous.
Mhm.
And here's the tragedy, though. She is still not in the WWE Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. She
Yeah,
is
she should
more, she should be. She is more responsible for thrusting pro wrestling into the mainstream spotlight of any other celebrity in history.
Yeah, she brought her pop to them, and then she brought all of that out into the rest of the world.
Well, and she
because people wanted to
cast,
see her.
well, she cast Captain Lou Albano as her father in the Good Enough for Us music video. She cast Roddy Piper and Nikolai Koloff and the Iron Sheik as villains in that music video on MTV. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Going back to this picture, though, the guy in the mink coat is Liberace.
Liberace. Why could I not remember his name?
So big then, but honestly, I only know that he played the piano and he was like ostentatious. Is there anything else about him?
I mean, he was one of Las Vegas's biggest superstars of all time.
Oh, because so he was a showman.
Oh yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. There used to be a piano that he played on display at the Opryland Hotel.
Ooh, that's probably not there anymore.
No, not anymore. the man I work for bought it.
Oh,
The
It's in
guy
his home.
died in 1987. I didn't realize it was that.
who?
He was born in
Liberace.
1919 and died in 1987.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, and they were still talking about him when I was like in my teens.
Kate Hawkins says, dudes, it's like opera for people who prefer senseless violence, art. And Chris Vaglio says, Kate Hawkins, truth. And Dwayne Hearn corrects me about China. She was not the 8th wonder. She was the 9th wonder of the world. Oh, I did not know that Jacqueline Moore also won the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I did not know that, Dwayne.
Good. Yeah,
So
more
good catch.
information.
Thank you. So 2 women in WWE who held men's titles. And Tony I said, yes, Cyndi Lauper, she had them in music videos and was close with Captain Lou Albano. And let's see, Dwayne L. Hearn also says, wrestling, as I say, is the greatest form of theater. It is one of the greatest forms. And when I'm teaching acting students how to create characters, I always point to pro wrestling because the best of the best tell you everything you need to know about their character before they even say a word. When they step through the curtain, their physicality, the way they move, their time, space, and weight will tell you everything you need to know about the character before they even Dwayne, I did not know that wrestling is your life. Had I known that, I would have invited you to be on. So we'll do this again. Can we talk about some merchandise here for a minute?
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Oh
Lunchbox.
my goodness.
The lunchbox. This is the album. There was a music album. And here we have the Junkyard Dog, Hillbilly Jim, Wendy Richter.
Is that remastered at all? Because that looks phenomenal for the time.
No, this is the I mean, it may have been issued recently, but hey, by the way, can anyone tell me out of the lineup of heels, there's someone very important to WWF history missing from this roster. Can anyone tell me who it is? Like maybe the most important heel in WWF history?
I could be wrong, so I don't want to be wrong. But isn't it the guy himself, like the guy who's in charge of everything now?
Hulk Hogan wasn't really in
No.
that cartoon, except that like around the live parts, wasn't he?
No, he was. He was
No,
in the episodes.
He was in all of them, yeah.
Yeah. It focused on him, but out of the characters here on the villain side, you know who's missing? Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan, I hate your guts, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Oh yeah.
Macho Man and
Why was he
Hulk
not on there?
Hogan's war against each other didn't happen until after like late 80s, though, right?
No,
Was it just starting during this show, or was
No,
it like in
this-
full swing?
So I was 15 years old, 1985, Richfield Coliseum. Randy Savage had just dropped the Intercontinental Championship to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and it was one of his and Hogan's first feuds. And I'm backstage in the locker room because my dad was friends with Cowboy Bob Orton, so we got backstage passes all the time. So I got to go back into the locker room, and before the match, Savage and Hogan are sitting face to face with the script in front of them, going over the spots that were going to happen in the match. They started as frenemies, and then they became business partners. They were close friends for a long time, and then they had a falling out at the end of their careers in the late 90s, mid 2000s. I guess mid 2000s. Yeah. Here's also a sticker book.
Oh, nice. I feel like I've
miss
seen
sticker
this
books.
though.
And we got to talk about the action figures. So these action figures did not move. These were modeled after the LGN characters. They were just pretty much static figures. But they weren't as big as the LGN. The LGN were like 8 inches tall. These were
That one says it's an eraser.
well,
Or
okay.
collectible eraser.
Yeah.
Toxic.
That's because kids like me used to chew on their pencils and erasers.
Wait,
Well,
you put the pencil up their butt? Oh no.
Wait, what?
Wait,
I've
Aubrey.
never
where
done
did the
that.
pencil go?
No,
It's an
Aubrey.
eraser.
Aubrey. Whoa,
Where was it? Is it not that kind of eraser?
Stop. No. Aubrey has just gone completely out of control. and off the track.
No, come on. You remember the little guys you'd put on your eraser?
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you'd be like, where do I gotta put the pencil?
Yep.
See, that's
Well,
not
no.
not where we
The
thought you
troll
were
pencil
going at all.
toppers.
Where does the pencil go? If it was the
See, listen, everybody in our viewing audience thought the exact same thing that I thought. Context is everything, Aubrey. We need the context.
when you were kidding. Oh my gosh.
So this is actually sent to us by Sandra Noel.
Thank you, Sandra. This is amazing.
She's one of our fans, and she has been going around to cons getting people the wrestlers to sign her her wrestling. This was the wrestling album. This came out huge hit, mega hit record. And here you see like Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jesse the Body has signed it. Jumping Jim Brunzell, B. Brian Blair. Looks like got a signature from Jimmy Hart, Ricky Steamboat, Hillbilly Jim. This is pretty awesome, Sandy. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
That was a lot of collecting there. That was pretty cool. I like that. Now I want to know, do they have anything like that for Glow?
Oh, sure. No, well, an album? I don't think so. But, it's worth looking at. The next episode we do on wrestling, we are going to have Hollywood from Glow on the air. But Chris,
yes.
yeah, Chris Bagley agrees with me. Context is important. And
Oh,
Tony
I know.
Ice
Jake is
says-
missing.
Jake the Snake is missing,
Mm-hmm.
but
From the cartoon?
yeah.
Yeah.
They should have had Randy Savage and Jake the Snake Roberts as well. But anyway, a lot of comments here that we can't get to all of them. We just can't. We'd be here all day. But coming up soon, Aubrey will be picking up the slack with Random Acts of Aubrey. So you can comment all day long if you want. That's going to be up to her.
We can chat about the most random things.
Like David Walsh says, there's nothing worse than something rubber up your butt. And with that, folks, we're going to reset the room.
Cereal this Saturday morning.
We're going to reset the room real quick.
Hey everybody, Chris Vaglou here from Song Swap Showdown. We are your weekly musical throwdown podcast. Each and every week, my co-host Amanda Sharp and I each swap 3 songs with each other that we may or may not have heard before, and then we rate those songs at a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a hard pass of a song and 5 being heavenly music to our ears. The songs are chosen by spinning the wheel of themes at the end of every single episode. But today, I am here to let you know that your weekend is not complete unless you started off by watching Back of the Cereal Box with Johnny Beyond and the rest of the crew. Love you, Johnny. Keep up the amazing work and rock it.
Chris, how do you like that you are the palate cleanser? So, and he says, check out Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown every Monday morning. They do for Monday mornings what we do for Saturday mornings. All right. So, Willow, final thoughts about Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
It's a terrible show, but I want to take this moment because we actually did lose a wrestler this week. Sid Vicious.
No.
Oh, yeah, we did. Sid Vicious passed away. That's right. And he
send our condolences.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. He probably will be inducted now that he's passed. But yeah, well wishes to the Sid Udy family. Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid. Aubrey, final thoughts about Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Did you actually get through any episodes?
I got through 5 episodes and had to rewatch some.
You rewatched them?
I did. I went back.
You are a
rewatched.
superhero.
No, they are superheroes because they can Kool-Aid man through walls. they can throw metal and it bounces down the road. the amount of times that it becomes slapstick goofy. I mean, I can't say anything because wrestling is campy. It is. And did I still dislike the bad guys in the cartoon? Yes, I did. So you guys did a great job with that. And I what can I say? That we have a female that is actually playing both female roles, but she's an amazing voice actor. You should check her out. She has been on so many movies, so many shows. That is a very amazing voice actress. Thank you very much. It was a delight to research and find out how many things that she's been in live action and cartoon, from that 70s show to the Thornberrys, and a lot of things in between, surprisingly. So I will say that the music was fun. I laughed. I thought it was silly. I disliked the bad guys, and now I want to watch more wrestling. So
that was, by the way, Jody Carlisle.
Yes,
was the
Jody
actress who played
was
Wendy Richter and Fabulous Moolah. She was also
good.
Dr. Cerebellum in Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
She was additional.
I was going to go down the list. Yeah,
in Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Marianne Thornberry in The Wild Thornberries.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of great voice actors in that show. James Avery did one of the voices. We all know him from as Uncle Phil.
Oh yeah, he
right?
did the Junkyard Dog.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, some talent there. It's, if you like camp and you like funny references for the time, it was genuine to the characters. It was except Roddy. Oh, I'm gonna say that right now.
They did him dirty with that with this show, though.
Did him dirty. I agree, Willow. Willow, high five, because oh my God, they did it.
Roddy
dirty.
Roddy Piper's my man.
That is the only one. That's the only reason that I really, the backgrounds aren't that bad for a cartoon of this level. But there's a lot of stuff that makes this endearing. But what you did to Roddy, I don't think I can ever forgive you for that one.
See, here, Aubrey and I are going to disagree once again. There's nothing endearing about this show. This show was a travesty.
No.
Well, the giant burger coming down.
They did Andre the Giant dirty too by making him be like the dumb character, and I'm just
You guys.
Uh-oh. What? What, Johnny? What happened?
The troll eraser topper. It's continuing to live in the comments. Tony I says, is that why they have number 2 pencils?
Okay, obviously we're all big kids here.
that'll be the takeaway for this show.
Aubrey, I'm gonna need to see you in the office after the broadcast goes off the air. We're gonna have to have
You guys got me in trouble.
Ooh, that's gonna be a clip when Aubrey goes off the rails. I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless.
Y'all don't understand what I go through.
Anyway, you guys, we got to go. We're way over time as usual, but I want to thank everyone who tuned in last week and watched last week's episode. It is one of the highest rated episodes. The Avengers really caught on and captured a huge audience. We had 647 people watching live last Saturday.
Wow!
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. So we thank you for that. We thank everyone who supports the show by sharing it and telling other people. There are a bunch of you who do. Clyde Hall, Chris Vaglio, you guys do a great job. Dave Mattingly shares the show. Eli T. Cash, all of our Cereal Box super friends. We couldn't do this show without you and without your support. If you would like to have your name in lights, join patreon.com/cerealboxpodcast, Cereal Box Podcast. And at the $2 level, you get to join us on screen. At the $5 level, you get exclusive merch. At the $20 VIP level, you get to host your own show, and we'll be doing a show with Eli T. Cash coming up real soon, and Dennis Pozzi, another live show. And at the $20 level, you also get to get free preview copies of some of our favorite comic books coming out week to week.
Yeah, our last VIP, Dennis, got a one-of-a-kind back of the cereal box cup.
Yeah. And every Patreon supporter at the $2 level or above gets entered into our monthly graphic novel drawing. I review graphic novels on Back Issue Breakfast Club, and we give them away. So the last giveaway we did, Dave Mattingly got a big bunch of them. This month's giveaway, we're doing Transformers, the issues number 1 through 5, or no, 1 through 6 in a trade paperback collection, and the companion Void Rivals, both part of the Energon universe, the combined Transformers G.I. Joe universe. And all you have to do to win these is be a paid Patreon member at patreon.com/cerealboxpodcast. $2 or more gets you entered into the monthly drawing every month. Ta-da! Woo! And Willow, what do you have going on this week? Tomorrow, you got a really awesome show on Geeky Discoveries.
Yes, we're going to be talking to the Geek Gumshoe, and Aubrey's going to make an appearance also. We're going to be talking about the Satanic Panic through the eyes of law enforcement.
I can't wait.
Panic of the 1980s. I was there. I lived through it.
If you're free, Johnny, you can join us.
If I can, I will.
I found a T-shirt for it. I don't ever wear T-shirts, but I found a
Nice.
T-shirt, and I can't wait. I'm gonna dress up in leather.
Yeah, I'm excited for this topic because it's something that like I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and doing the deep dive. Holy crap! There's just wow. I'll
I
leave
am
it
ready
for
to be
tomorrow.
educated
You
on the
guys
things
will
that I
hear
did not
me
know.
rant about it. So can't wait.
That's fantastic. Fantastic, Aubrey. You're face painting at the Watershed Public Theater, Shakespeare in the Park.
I am at
Midsummer's Night
Riverwalk.
Dream.
Yep, Riverwalk Park here in Columbia. It's our last night, so I know that there's a lot of things going on this weekend. But if you guys can come out, showtime is 7:30. We got a taco truck and some ice cream truck. I think it might be snow cones also, and they set up at 6:30. I'm going to be there early in costume with my horns on, ready to be Oberon's assistant Puck and make some mischief and get some face painted. So yes, please come out. Also, not only I will be on Willow's show, but September 6th, I'm going to be joining Cosplay Cafe.
Ooh.
And I am going to be dealing with a YouTuber who is famous for turning trash into cosplay. So in honor of that, I made my earrings and my trash sunglasses, and dyed my costume, this was throwaway for yard sale, and even made my belt for Wendy out of some earrings. Oh, which, as you can see, if you use earrings for a belt, they come undone. But
That's
here is
cool.
my Wendy belt.
That is really neat.
With
Ta-da!
earrings.
Well, very, very cool. And of course, you can follow me and my adventures at johnnybeyond.com. Well, ladies, thank you so much. Everybody in the audience, in the comments, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. We appreciate your support. We don't deserve it, but we do appreciate it. And with that, make sure you tell...
We're done.
Yeah, make sure you tell 200-300 of your closest friends and family to come share the fun. Like, comment, give us a hearts up. Whatever platform you're listening on, subscribe. Whatever platform you're watching on, subscribe. Click the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box. Ta-da! So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, bonjour. Where's the video? I cannot find it now.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi's strap.